Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the AZFSTV6 channel. The place for you all to search for information about anime, manga, and much more. So, make sure you watch until the end of the video. Oh yeah, don't forget to press the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our latest videos. Your support means a lot, and of course, it's free. Let's get started. Unfortunately, Kumachi also broke free and attacked Usopp. However, with the spirit of Sogeking, Usopp successfully freed Kumachi's shadow despite being bombarded by Perona's exploding ghost. In his critical state, Usopp started thinking and searching for a place to hide. He then fired a kabuto blast into a room there. And the weird thing is, Perona's real body was there according to Usopp's plan. With Usopp's high IQ, his plan succeeded. At this moment, Usopp is about to shoot at Perona's real body. However, he misses. Additionally, Perona retaliates with a larger explosive ghost. And Perona returned to her original body. Luffy was still struggling against Moria's shadows alone. Chopper and Robin were also overwhelmed by Hawkback and his two zombies. Zombie Sanji also slightly lost Sanji's character, which is why the Penguin dared to kick Robin. On Oars Luffy's side, who was still playing around with his foolish character, he also started to realize and remember that his master was Gecko Moria. He hurried to meet his master. Back to Usopp. When the big ghost was about to be blown up by Perona, Usopp absorbed the ghost with his dial. And it turns out that Usopp's missed shot earlier was intentional. Because he shot an adhesive at Perona. Finally, Usopp used his ultimate move on Perona with a mental destruction combo. That is by firing a cockroach bait along with a 10-ton hammer trick. With Usopp's trick, Perona fainted half to death. And Usopp walked while celebrating his victory. On Zoro's side, Brook and Frankie were also intending to engage in a duel of swordsmen. Zoro planned to take the sword of the legendary swordsman named Shusui, which is one of the 21 legendary swords. Yes, those zombies just keep coming if they can be defeated. Their fight left Frankie and Brook astonished. Brook even just realized that his opponent hadn't been fighting him seriously all this time. The last attack in their duel was won by Zoro. Zoro's slash even enveloped the zombie's body in blue flames. The zombie also handed over his sword to Zoro and admitted that Zoro had won. In the end, Brook is happy because his shadow has returned. Additionally, Shimarimo gets a new sword called Shusui, which replaces his rusted Yuba Chariot Ness lobby. He also has respect for that zombie who comes from the land of Wano. The zombie generals commanded by Absalom, who had stopped Oars, also began to realize that Oars had been serving Moria. Meanwhile, Luffy kept struggling against Moria's shadow. Chopper and Robin being cornered led Chopper to reveal his anger as a doctor. Which Hogback has deviated from the medical teachings that always help humans. Instead, Hogback makes slaves from human corpses themselves. Hogback also continues to tell his own rottenness that he is like that. He also kicked Sindri and ordered her to lick the floor. Hogback also explained his reasons for bringing Sindri back to life, which is that he is very obsessed with Sindri because of Sindri's beauty as an artist. His love was also rejected because Sindri was engaged. After hearing the news that his idol had died in an accident, he was approached by Moria for cooperation and to dig up his idol's grave to bring him back to life. That was the treachery of Hogback. Of course, as a doctor, Chopper did not accept this and continued to fight back. With all his heart, Chopper said that humans have their own right to freedom. Penguin Sanji and Jigoro were also shocked to hear this. Likewise with Sindri, who fell silent immediately. As usual, during a fight, Jigoro and Penguin Sanji argue and cannot cooperate like the originals. Hogback was also confused as to why they acted that way. Robin took the opportunity by tricking Hogback into ordering herself and Chopper to jump. When Hogback said it was Jigoro and Penguin Sanji who jumped instead. Meanwhile, Sindri suddenly burst into tears, as if coming back to life. It turns out Sindri was unable to move her body. Thus, Chopper and Robin succeeded in defeating Hogback with their duet combo. On Luffy's side, Oz had already reached his master Moria. Moria also provided the bounty posters of the Mugiwara crew for him to hunt. And immediately Oz attacked Luffy, causing extensive damage to many castles there. The damage even reached Robin and Chopper. Sindri appeared to smile and did not obey Hogback's command to lift the rock that had fallen on him. In the end, Hogback was stepped on by Oz. Due to its massive size, as Oz is 4 times larger than the giant elbaf, the damage reached Usopp. By the way, before we continue, for those of you who are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe first. Just click the red button below, it's free, and you will get more exciting content from me. Okay, let's continue now. Even Sanji and all the crew on Thriller bark. To the point where Sanji was also outwitted by Amy, who was kidnapped by Absalom. Luffy kept chasing Moria. Absalom has gotten Amy back. Perona has also been found by her subordinates. The only thing left is Oars, who will wreak havoc on the Mugiwara crew. Usopp met Robin and Chopper. They also saw Brook, Zoro, and Frankie on the roof. The six of them focused on Sanji, who was directly under Oars. It seems like he wants to solo Oars by himself. Absalom, on the other hand, continues his wedding. But he is interrupted by Hilden, who is looking for Moria. Hilden then met Moria, who was being chased by Luffy. He mentioned that Oars had destroyed Thriller bark. But Moria ignored him. And sure enough, Oars engaged in a duel with Sanji. In the end, Sanji was captured by Oars. His friends were clearly panicked. When a tentacle attacked, Usopp immediately fired flames at Oars. The other friends also helped him even though they were still overwhelmed. Even when there was a moment, Usopp also shot salt into Oars's mouth. However, it was futile. They all fell defeated by him. Then, Oars looked back at his poster. He just had to find Nami, Luffy, and the remaining Sogeking. Meanwhile, Perona is still thinking about Usopp. But in the meantime, Oars is also looking for the remaining Nami, Luffy, and Sogeking. Upon waking up, he is startled by the very chaotic situation of the Thriller barracks. Coincidentally, Oars was also looking for a girl approaching Perona. Coincidentally, Oars was also the one looking for a girl approaching Perona. Perona just hid in fear. In fact, the one Oars was looking for was Nami. Eventually, Perona decided to leave the Thriller bark with her subordinates, taking all the food supplies and treasures there. Then she hijacked the Sanago ship. Meanwhile, during Absalom's wedding ceremony, Nami wakes up. Everything becomes chaotic because Lola also arrives. Lola pretends to attack Nami and asks her to leave. Then, she will take care of Absalom. But since Lola was beaten by Absalom, Nami decided not to go because she felt sorry for Lola. Nami intended to defeat Absalom, and with just one strike, Absalom was defeated. Nami then apologized to Lola for lying to her. Despite that, Lola also knew that Nami was lying and still considered her a friend. On the side of the forest, Luffy kept searching for Moria, who had disappeared. Meanwhile, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Frankie, Chopper, and Robin begin to seriously prepare to fight Oars. After Lola wakes up and deals with Absalom, she informs Nami of the situation and instructs her to join her friends in fighting Oars. Nami then leaves, but she ends up in the empty treasure room instead. He then found two zombies and interrogated them. Meanwhile, the Straw Hat crew worked together to fight against Oars. Frankie also suggested combining into a robot, but Robin refused. Oz was also surprised because the combination was incomplete. In the end, they could only find a way to bring it back down. Switching to Brook, he apparently went into the kitchen and drank milk to regenerate his damaged bones. Additionally, he was looking for a way to reach Perona, and his subordinates were also transporting everything that could be taken to Sanago. Meanwhile, the battle between the crewmates and Oz was becoming more intense. With the collaboration of Siamic called One Down, they managed to flip Oz over and his horn got stuck in the ground. Back to Perona. It appears there is a large and lanky man named Bartolomeo Kuma in Sanago. Nami, who had successfully interrogated the two zombies, immediately ran to Sanago. She could also see her friends fighting. In the fight, the crew realized that Oz couldn't stand up because he was stuck. That's when they suddenly turned into demons. Oz, however, was not easily defeated. Finally, Frankie, Usopp, and Chopper performed a combo to trick Oz into hitting his own face. From there, Usopp realized that Oz still had Luffy's foolish characteristics, and in the end, they fought Oz by deceiving him. They had tried many times to take down Oz. But Oz was really strong. Besides that, Zoro will also test his new sword given by Yuma. Nami finally arrives at Sanago. Perona is also unsurprised and intends to fight her. However, suddenly Kuma was already behind Perona and asked where she would like to go. Perona innocently answered. Then she disappeared from the last area she was in. There was once Kuma who truly intimidated everyone there. Everyone fled except for Nami. Kuma also validated that Nami was a member of the Straw Hats and asked about Luffy's brother. Of course, Nami answered that Luffy has a brother named Ace. After knowing this, he just went inside the trailer bar. Back to Luffy, he once again lost track of Moria's shadow. After that, he also had to quickly rush to get his shadow and everyone's shadows. As for Zoro, he really soloed Oz with his new sword. After that, their plan was to continue to buy time while waiting for Luffy to defeat Moria and retrieve his shadow. But Zoro, as the vice captain there, will finish him off alone. Because Luffy also surely has his own problems. So they don't rely too much on the captain alone. In addition, there was a jolt on the trailer barge which apparently caused the vessel to enter the waves. This indicated that the trailer barge was exiting the Florian Triangle. The sign was that the fog was starting to fade. This is certainly dangerous for everyone. The sun will shine on their ship when morning arrives. Their ship came out of the Florian Triangle because Oz tinkered with the ship upstream earlier. On Moria's side, it turns out that he had met Kuma who indeed intended to see him. Kuma only delivered a message from the government that Crocodile's seat in the Shichibukai had been replaced by a pirate named Marshal D. Teach with a bounty of 0 berries. Moria was quite surprised to hear this. Teach was accepted by the government because he had proven his disruption, including opposing Ace who was chasing him. In addition, Kuma also mentioned that the government redirected its focus to the Straw Hat Pirates after the Ness Lobby incident. Considering the log after Water 7, the Straw Hat Pirates will head to Fishman and will likely stop at the trailer bar first. That's why the government is afraid of losing another Shichibukai. Hearing that, Moria felt underestimated. However, Kuma clarified that no one ever expected Robluki's defeat. Moria became increasingly emotional and decided to show it to the government. Moria then immediately entered Or's body like a robot to control it. The comrades also found it increasingly difficult to fight against him. However, Zoro continued to build his crew's confidence and ordered Usopp to bring more salt. But as Usopp ran, he got slapped. Fortunately, Brook saved Usopp while carrying a sack of salt. Finally, Brook also joined the fight with them. They were ready. The attack began with a combo from Usopp and Franky. However, the fire didn't affect the body of Zombie Or. Zoro and Sanji performed the combo again, but their attacks were still deflected because Or was also quick. Usopp and Franky also tried another combo, but Franky really took a beating and completely failed. Or then tried to stomp on Franky. Fortunately, Nami managed to grab him and Franky was successfully saved. Nami's presence was discovered by Or. Or then used a Gomu Gomu no pistol on Nami. Initially, everyone thought that he didn't have that power. But it turns out. Thank you for watching this video until the end. If you like the content, don't forget to click the like button, share with your friends, and write your thoughts in the comments section. I really want to hear what you think. And of course, for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, just click the subscribe button below and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any exciting upcoming videos. Remember, your support makes this channel more enthusiastic about creating content. See you in the next video. Stay healthy, stay motivated, and always be the best version of yourself. Bye.